Guys, everyone knows them. They're Peters and Associates. They're the talk of the town. They get those hilarious new commercials, and they get great legal advice as well, which you hear here on the show. The holiday season is upon us, of course, and would-be drivers, they're turning to ride shares like Uber and Lyft. And if you're injured in a crash caused by a ride share, a taxi, or another commercial vehicle, what do? Well, Judas Akalik's here. He's going to explain all of that to us. He's a partner with Peters and Associates.
That's right.
It's great having you.
Always a pleasure, Sean. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Uber and Lyft, a lot of drivers now.
A lot of drivers are riding or doing Uber and Lyft as a secondary job.
Yeah.
A lot of people are using Uber and Lyft. It's really smart during the holiday season because if you're drinking a little bit too much, you call them and they'll take you home or take you wherever you have to go.
Great service in that say, but we've all been on the roads, and people that drive in the city sometimes can be idiots.
Yes, they can.
And what's the difference between an idiot and an Uber driver? Is a sticker that says Uber sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing that's different. The
Yeah.
other thing is, and the good part for someone who's hit by an Uber driver or a Lyft driver is there may be more insurance behind them. So if you're injured drastically, you could find a deeper pocket to go after. So that's a good thing.
So if you find yourself in an accident, you have medical bills, do you go after the driver? Do you go after Uber? Does Uber provide insurance for the driver? How does that work?
Well, it depends if the driver's acting as a Uber driver at that time, right? Are they in their capacity as an Uber driver or as a Lyft driver? And that really depends upon whether they have that app open. So Uber and perhaps Lyft has an insurance policy that says, hey, if this app is open during this time and if this driver is in service, then we're going to cover them as a commercial, as they would a commercial driver, which means maybe up to $1 million in insurance coverage.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, what if, say, you're not driving with that driver, but that driver drives into you?
So same thing. If that driver is working, if they have that app open and they're working as an Uber driver and they hit you, then yeah, you can go after Uber, and perhaps you can even go after their own insurance, but it's probably less likely because their own personal insurance policy probably has an exception with commercial use.
Commercial use,
right?
exactly.
So it says if they're acting in commercial capacity, you can't go after their individual policy, but you could still go after the Uber or Lyft policy, which is what you really want anyways.
It's really created this kind of gray area when it comes to the typical insurance policy on cars.
Yeah,
So.
at what point, who covers what? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about then, say another driver was to hit us, somebody driving, let's say, a delivery vehicle, or maybe a tanker truck or whatever. I mean, it's the same sort of deal there, or?
Right, so there's a lot of UPS drivers,
Yeah.
FedEx drivers on the road right now.
I once had a
delivery
bus
drivers.
turn into my car.
Ease.
And you know what he tried doing? He tried offering me cash.
The bus driver did.
Yeah, he tried to, so I didn't make a claim. $200
Right.
for a mirror, and I'm like, I have a feeling it's gonna be more. It ended up being like $450.
Yeah, that's not going to do
You
it.
want to make sure you get their information.
You want to make sure you get the information. And then, I mean, look, when you're in an accident, you can tell what the property damage is right away.
Yeah.
Your car scratched, you lost a mirror, you can see that. What you can't always see is how you're physically injured. Sometimes it doesn't show up for days after or weeks after, so that's something you want to at least start a record of at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to make that claim.
A lot of people, they try to tough it out. Like they get in that accident, they feel a little shaken up, but they have the adrenaline running. They're like, no, I'm fine. Let's just,
Right.
not a smart thing to do.
No, I had a client last week came in, and young guy, probably about 25, used to play football, got hit. He says, I'm okay. I don't need to go to see a doctor. I
Tough
said,
guy.
Yeah, tough guy. And I told him, look, I was hit when I was 20 years old, and I'm still suffering today because of that injury. So go get better. You only get one body in life. Let's take care of that and put the pride aside and just get better.
This is not to say if you're not feeling pain to stay in your car screaming and saying, I'm hurt.
Right.
This is not what to do. But if you know that there could very well be ramifications from that accident, from that ramming, a week,
Later
2
on,
weeks, 3
week
weeks
later,
down the
maybe
line.
even years, and that's why it's important to get checked out now. And let's understand, the insurance companies are very good at not paying claims.
Yes.
Okay, so you can yell Bloody Mary in that car. If you're not injured, you're probably not going to get paid on that claim.
Yeah.
So their job is to not pay you. Our job as lawyers is to make sure you get the most for your claim as possible. You get better, you move on with your life. Hopefully they give you a little bit of money for that pain and suffering, and you avoid any further issues in the future.
The other important thing to note is if you do talk to an insurance, or chances are you'll talk to an insurance company that day.
Yeah.
Don't say I feel fine.
No.
Unless a doctor says you feel fine.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll say, oh, well, you felt fine before, so, that's where the argument comes.
Well, even with the doctor, too, it's so important that you communicate to the doctor and really let them know how you're feeling, because that doctor can only tell so much by looking at you, doing a diagnostic review of you. You have to communicate with them and let them know what you're feeling, when you're feeling it, every little detail, because that might lead to something else.
All right, so accident, take pictures, call Metro,
Yeah.
and then call Peters and Associates.
Definitely.
Very good.
Thanks,
It's great having you. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
All right, if you've been in any type of car, motor vehicle, motorcycle, ride-sharing accident, if a rickshaw hits you, Have any questions?
We're
Call
there.
the Panda guys. Their number is right there on your screen. So is the website too. JJ, over to you.